Step back in time to the golden era of Northern Soul, with focusing on the essential masterpieces from the 1960s, covering a collection of UK demo pressings that, half a century later, have become the holy grail for record collectors. Back in the early 1970s, as Northern Soul fever gripped the dance floors of Wigan Casino and the Twisted Wheel, few crate diggers could have imagined just how scarce these UK releases would become. Many of these 45s, pressed in tiny quantities for radio play, were soon discarded, overlooked in favor of their American counterparts. Today, they fetch eye-watering sums at auctions, proving that yesterday's promos are today's prized possessions. Brenda Holloway's When I'm Gone on Tamla Motown, released in 1965, is the perfect opener. At the time, few DJs realized that this gem would later become one of the most played 45s on the Northern Soul circuit. The same goes for Ray Pollard's The Drifter, released that same year, is an absolute heartbreaker that now commands a very high ticket price for a mint UK demo copy. Who knew back then that this record, once just another new release, would one day define an entire movement? In the mid-60s, the UK scene was still discovering the raw energy of American soul. Major Lance's Investigate might have been a modest release at the time, but today, it stands as an anthem of the scene, a true underground classic that only the savviest collectors had the foresight to hoard. And then there's Darrell Banks' Open the Door to Your Heart. The original UK London Records demo pressing is so rare that only the most seasoned collectors have ever laid hands on one. We'll save the discussion about the even rarer issue copy for another time. There was something magical about the 1970s for record collectors. The second-hand shops in the back streets of Manchester, London, and the Midlands were overflowing with unsold stock from the last 5 years. Those who were there at the time had no idea they were sitting on a gold mine. Imagine flicking past Kim Weston, I'm Still Loving You in a bargain bin, unaware that a clean UK demo copy would be worth over $1,000 today. P.P. Arnold's Everything's Gonna Be Alright from 1967 and Rufus Lumley's 1966 release, I'm Standing, are yet more reminders of how time has transformed these forgotten singles into prized collector's items. When DJs first played them, they were fresh, exciting, but hardly rare. Fast forward 50 years, and they've become legendary, immortalized by those dimly lit all-nighters and the die-hard record enthusiasts who carried the torch. So, whether you're reliving the sweat-drenched dance floor moments of the countless Northern Soul venues across the UK or just discovering these soulful treasures, this playlist is your passport to the golden age of record collecting. Turn up the volume and step back in time to the sound of the rarest UK Northern Soul 45s.